Sunny.
Good
Hi.
morning. Yes, we're on Pacific time for those of you guys joining us. So it is morning our time, 10 a.m. on
It
a
sure is.
Sunday. We're going to be doing these Good Mom Lives every Sunday. And yeah, it's good to see you, Linz. And I'm so excited about our show today. We've got some
Me too.
awesome things planned for you guys.
We do. This has been a fun week, hasn't it?
Oh,
After our
yeah.
first live show last week and now
Mhm.
this week, we have learned a whole lot, everybody. So hold on, buckle up because there's going to be some fun happening today. I can tell you right now. We're
That's
excited.
right.
So,
Yeah. And
woohoo!
last week we had our Mother's Day kind of kickoff for season 2 of Good Mom. And thank
Yep.
you guys for everyone that joined us live. By the way, if you are watching live, please comment, please engage with us. We can see those comments and we'll be responding to them throughout the show. So we'd love to know what you guys think. But Lindsay, that was so much fun. And then we had Mother's Day afterward, right? We did our live show. I was like, oh
Yes.
yeah, it's Mother's Day. What are we
Mother's
doing
Day. And
today?
what did you do for Mother's Day, Sunny? I did not go to Disney World, Lindsay. No, I did not.
No, no Disney World. We didn't do that, although we're pretty close to Disneyland at least,
Yeah,
but no,
you're closer to Disneyland. Yeah.
we did not go to Disneyland. We kind of kept it low key, which
Hmm.
is kind of what I prefer.
Hmm.
And, for me, I kind of like a mix on Mother's Day. I like to spend time with my family, but
Nice.
then I also like to have some sunny time. I just think
Hmm.
that that's really important. And
It
it was
is.
nice. I had a little bit of both. I have to tell you, though, because we did the live show before, I kind of had that live show high for about
Hmm.
4 hours. Where I was like, oh my God, that was so much fun. And next week we can do this. And like my brain was like going like 1,000 miles per hour, right? So I had to
Totally.
like calm
Take a
down,
breath. Take a breath. Yeah.
take a breath. And it was nice though. My girls put together like a little Mother's Day basket for me with like all my favorite
Aw.
goodies and comfy socks and sugar
Aw.
scrub and some homemade cards. I think the dog even made a card. So thank you, Sadie, for,
Thank you,
you know,
Sadie. Yeah.
creating a
Sadie
little
was on
card
the
for me.
show last time too, I think.
Yes.
That was awesome.
That's right. Yes, and if
And
you're joining us
and
live
she's back.
today,
There she's back. Hi, Sadie.
is she in the chat?
Yep. Well, yeah, Desi's in the show today too. He's sleeping, fortunately, though, in another part of the house. And there is an old adage, never wake a sleeping dog, right? Let sleeping
Oh
dogs
yeah.
lie. By the way, moms, it's true for kids too. When they're sleeping,
Oh
just let
boy.
them sleep.
That
It's
gives
such a
you
good,
some time as
it's
well.
such a
Unless you
good
got
thing,
multiple kids, and then you gotta
right? Yeah,
kind
that's
of
true.
figure out that, right?
You gotta work it out. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well,
how
my
was your
Mother's Day
Mother's
was
Day? How
it
was it? What
was
did you do?
so fun, really fun. My kids were here, so I had my daughter and not my son-in-law. My daughter was here at the house in the morning, and she was helping me with all this lighting stuff. So, thank you, Kai, for all of your tech support. And after that, she and I went directly to a really cool winery that I had never been to in my hometown. And
Wow.
she treated me to charcuterie and wine, and we just had a great time. Then we met up with my son, and we went out to our favorite Chinese restaurant, Chan's in Woodinville. If you're listening, oh my gosh, yes, you got to go to Chan's. And we went to Chan's and had a great dinner, and everybody got to chat about what's going on in life and why is Mother's Day important to them? Is kind of the question I asked. And they both said, it's because we appreciate you, Mom. So that's why. And it was really awesome.
Oh.
So we had such a great day. It's a beautiful day, too. So,
Oh, I love it. So my husband asked me because I think I mentioned this on the last live show, but he's really good about like Mother's Day and my birthday, just really wanting to know, what do you want to do? How can we celebrate this? And so he asked me several days before, what do you want to do? And so he was willing to cook and do all this kind of stuff. And I said, let's not do that. I'm like, I really just wanted some Thai food. I hadn't had Thai food in a long
a
time.
long time. Yeah.
And I love pad Thai. That's kind of my
Oh,
thing, but I hadn't had it like in over a year, Lindsay. Like it'd been a long
what?
time. So,
That's
yeah,
a long time without Thai food.
I know. So he went out and got me some takeout of this new Thai place that we were trying. And
Nice.
I know it wasn't like a big deal, but again, it was what I wanted. I didn't need something like,
Yeah.
super big. I just wanted
Didn't
to know
need
that my
fancy.
kids cared, my
Mhm.
husband cared. And Lindsay, I got to share something with you. So
Okay.
all right. So on Mother's Day, it's kind of getting towards the end of the day. And my husband and I have this thing that we started doing not long ago where we watch movies together. I know that's really simple, but we have very different tastes when it comes
Uh-huh.
to shows. He's
Right.
like, put
That's
on
normal.
Rambo and let's watch people go at it. And I'm like, can we watch like a nature documentary where, just animals are like loving each other. I'm like the
Yeah.
exact opposite, right? And
Okay.
so we found this movie on Netflix, and I have to brag about it
Okay.
because it was awesome. It
I
was
think this is
super
the
cool.
one that you told me about that I
Yeah.
proceeded to then watch with my kids, actually. It was
Thank
great.
you. Okay, guys. So have you seen this movie? So I didn't realize this, Lindsay, but it's actually a book, which is the thing because there's so many good movies that come from books. But it's
Right.
called Remarkably Bright Creatures. These are some screenshots from the show, and I believe it's a Netflix. I think it was
Original.
created for Netflix,
It
right?
is. It was created for Netflix. They created it. They did the production. Yeah.
Okay. So I don't want to give too much away because you guys just really need to watch this. They are not sponsoring the show. Okay. This is
No.
just one of those things that, yeah, when we did our debrief about the live show, Lindsay, I was just like, oh my gosh, have you seen the show? This is like the most fabulous thing. So this is Sally Fields. Remember Sally from like Steel Magnolias and a bunch of other really good flicks. So the heart and soul of this is she is a janitor. And did you
Mhm.
find out it is in Washington, right? Washington
It
State that
it
this.
was actually filmed in Canada because
Okay.
most movies are, but the
Okay.
references are to a little town near me. Yes, actually.
That's
Yeah,
what I
for sure.
thought.
So the place Bellingham, which you probably heard out loud, is
Yes.
probably an hour from where I live, and I go there quite often. So yes, it's the references were to that town, but it was filmed officially in Canada.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Well, the town, however they staged it, just
Mhm.
looked so quaint and beautiful. And when you talk about your family home in Washington,
Mhm.
that's what I picture, just like a quaint little town and
It's a lot
everybody
like
kind of
that.
knows everybody. Yeah, it's just so
Yeah.
beautiful. And the
Yeah.
natural scenery for all of
Mm,
it was incredible. But she
unbelievable.
plays a janitor that works at this aquarium.
Mhm.
And there's this octopus. You can see him like in the photo. His name is Marcellus. And they develop this relationship, and this other guy comes into the picture that you see in some of these photos, and they develop a friendship, and it's told through the eyes of this octopus, which may
Yes.
sound a little weird, but it is so heartwarming, and there's some twists and turns, and I don't want to give the whole thing
Don't give it
away.
away because there is quite a big twist.
It just like Lindsay, I was watching this and I kept looking over at my husband because
Yeah.
men, tough guy. And I was like, is he gonna like tear up? Because I was like waterworks. I was like, oh my goodness, what's going on? This is like the best movie ever. It
It
was
was
just
such a good
fantastic
Mother's Day
and
story.
heartwarming.
Yeah.
And like, if you love octopus, I don't know what it is. Like, the older I get, the more I love these different animals.
Yeah.
And, octopuses are known, like, they're called remarkably bright creatures, hence the
Yes.
name of this.
They're very
But
smart.
since it's told through the eyes of the octopus, he's actually talking about us, how we're remarkably bright creatures.
Yeah.
So I
It's
just
so
loved
cute.
it.
And the best part was, I'm not giving anything away, but I love the way that the two characters were developed. And she became very much the missing piece to a part of his life that he never had. He didn't have a
Yes.
mom.
Yep.
And so when I was watching that, I went, yes, exactly. That's what we want this community to also be about. It's
I love
how
it.
can we help people that maybe never did have a mom or who had a mom, but they couldn't access a connection point with their mom. And how could we do that in this community and help each other and be in
Right.
service to motherhood? So I thought it was super awesome. And I love the octopus too. I love them. That the octopus hole is here in Hoodsport, Washington. And it is a place where divers come from around the world to find their octopi, if that's how you say multiple octopus.
You can do it either way. I've actually looked this up. You can say octopuses, which sounds a little weird,
It
or
does sound
octopi. Yeah.
octopi. I think it
Mhm.
was octopi. So anyway, it is pretty cool. And Washington State is well known for diving and
Yeah.
finding multiple different kinds of octopi. So hence our Seattle Kraken hockey team. Just saying. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Right.
The
So
Kraken.
the
Oh my
Kraken.
gosh.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
I'm
So
obsessed with Marcellus. If I could, here's the thing. I was like, oh, I want an octopus. But as you'll see in the movie, like owning an octopus, like you don't really want them in captivity. Like that's not
no,
really what the octopus want either,
no,
right?
nobody, none of us.
Here's Lindsay what I want. I want to live
Okay.
on an island And I have
Okay.
one in mind in the Florida
Mm,
Keys. I'm going to buy this island,
okay.
and it has this little inlet area. I know this island well. And the octopus, I'm gonna just put my vibe out there that I want to be friends with an octopus. The octopus is going to come into this little inlet.
There you
30
go.
minutes a day, I'm going to
Okay.
visit with my friend, Mr. and Mrs. Octopus,
I
and then
love
they're
it.
going to go back out to sea and have a lovely life. And that is the relationship that I'm putting out there in the universe right now that I
Okay.
want.
You want an octopus teacher. In fact, that's another thing. If you haven't seen that movie, audience, the My Octopus Teacher is such an incredible film. Also, I believe on Netflix.
Really?
And it is so, so good. And it's about a man who finds himself through befriending an octopus.
Oh my gosh.
It's filmed in South Africa. Pretty cool.
Oh, that
Anyway,
is so
so
cool. So cool.
octopi are very awesome.
They are. I mean, I can just get lost on YouTube
Yeah.
watching octopus videos because some people do have them as pets, and then they like visit them every day and do their thing, and it's
Yeah.
just fun to watch. But I love seeing them in the wild because that's when they really come alive, and it's like
Yeah.
more like the National Geographic stuff, right?
Fun fact about octopi, I have to share this because it's related to this motherhood conversation. They only live about a year. Their lifespan is about 365 days. That's about it. And towards the end of their lives is when they become impregnated and lay eggs. But what's interesting is that a mother octopus will die during the process of having the children.
Childbirth?
They die at birth. They don't die at birth. They stay alive long enough to nurture the eggs, but they literally give up their whole body for the health and the well-being of these eggs. And they will lay about 500,000 eggs, and less than 25 will survive.
Are you kidding me?
No, isn't it cool? I mean, it's really neat. And so when you think about what would you give up for your kids to survive, right? That's what octopi do. And I think, and it may not be all species or breeds, but that is something that I read not that long ago about how they actually function as mothers in the wild. Isn't that cool?
That's incredible.
It's
And actually,
incredible.
that is perfect, Lindsay, because that leads us into the first story that I want to talk about today. What
This is
would
gonna
you
be
do for
fun.
your kids? And this starts when you're pregnant, right? Or even when you're
Or maybe
thinking about
even before.
becoming pregnant, right? Because it totally changes your whole life.
It does.
So I do want to tee this up just a little bit because I have a video that I want to share with you guys.
Okay.
But the gist of it is this. Lindsay, I want you to picture, you've got 2 kids. So picture being in labor with either one of your children, right? And I'll do the same thing. So when I was pregnant with my firstborn, we were going for a vaginal birth, right? We wanted to have it I won't say natural because I'm not a big fan of pain. Okay. So we had a hospital setting, and I can picture myself like, having contractions. Okay, let's go to the hospital. And there's all this anxiousness, right? And you don't know what it's like to give birth, and you don't really know the whole process. And what if something goes wrong and you're already, all these emotions are just going haywire, right? Even if you've already had a child, because every pregnancy is different, every childbirth experience is different, and you
It's
just
always
don't know
different.
what's going to happen, right?
No, there's no manual for that.
So what if, you want whoever's around you to be supportive, right? When you're in that environment, you want people that love you, that care about you, that want the best for you and your baby. What would happen though, if the legal system kind of interfered with that and wanted to derail your birth plan? Okay, so let's say you wanted to have as natural of a birth as possible, and the hospital system said it wasn't in your best interest or your child's best interest for you to have that type of birth.
What
So
right
keep
do
that
they
in-
have to say that?
Okay.
Woo!
Okay. So I'm going
Okay.
to play this clip for you guys. This is real.
Okay.
This is real. I think this happened about a year ago, but it's
Nice.
kind of coming back up in the news now. So this is a very real experience. Now, this clip that I'm going to show you guys is a little long. It's about 4 minutes long. And what you're going to see is a woman. Her name is Sharice Doyley. And she wanted to have, like I said, a vaginal birth. She had other children, and the system was fighting her on that. They wanted her to have a C-section. So she's in labor, and this happens.
Okay. I haven't seen this either.
It's a real judge, you know?
Yes, yes. I wasn't being hyperbolic. It's a real judge.
Let me get the.
Nah, this is the craziest thing I ever seen.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I know you may be able to see me on your screen in just a second here. I'll introduce myself. I do see you on. Can you hear me okay, ma'am?
Oh,
Yes, sir, I can hear you perfectly fine.
My name is Michael Khalil. I'm a circuit court judge here in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm here in Duval County. The state of Florida has filed a petition for declaratory judgment. It's an emergency petition that they have filed. There's a number of people that you see. You may be able to see them on screen. We're on Zoom right now. And just so you know, this is being recorded. There's not a court reporter here, but it is being recorded for the record, and that'll be made available if any transcript is necessary and for any other proceedings as well. We are here, though, on this emergency petition where the state has, and I'm going to kind of summarize it very briefly. I'll have the state be able to explain specifically what they're requesting, but in short order, they're requesting that I declare, and I have not heard any evidence or testimony yet, but they're based upon the medical situation that's alleged in their petition. They're asking for an emergency C-section be granted by the court. In just a few moments, I'm going to give the state an opportunity of presenting any evidence or testimony that they may like to present. In addition, I'll hear from you as well as present any cross-examination, I suppose, if you wanted to ask any questions of the doctors. I see that you have your phone out as well. Just so you know, in terms of the recording of this, we do have this via Zoom. That'll be made available to you as well. If there was any transcript necessary, but I don't want you to become distracted.
Yeah, because I want to make sure that I record this because I have not had a chance to be able to consult with my own legal representation, and I'm trying to understand how you are taking my rights away as a patient to be able to decide my own care to give me an emergency C-section against my will. I don't want to be a statistic, and I came here out of precaution. However, I still have rights as an American citizen and as a patient that I am allowed to decide what goes on with me and my body and my baby.
Well, let me ask you about that. What about the risks to the child? The doctors testified about some risks, and help me understand that.
In regards to what? Because she's saying that the uterine rupture can cause the placenta to abrupt, and it's a lot of what ifs and maybes. Anytime you go into childbirth, whether you do a vaginal or a C-section, there's inherent risk to the mother and the baby. So if it's between them choosing whether I have to live or the baby has to live, I did tell them that I want to live. I have other children out here in the world that need me. And that is my right, because at the end of the day, if I die from a C-section, nobody on this call is going to take care of my children. And that's just being frank. Okay, so I am concerned about the well-being of my child. But at the end of the day, with my background, I can read a trace just like they can. And there's nothing that is saying that this is an emergency situation that I have to be rushed into a C-section within an hour.
Ms. Doyle, that's what's going to be entered. I'm going to circulate this proposed order to the other attorneys. Enter this in today, not requiring anything except for an emergency basis, which you've already consented to between now and we're going to come back at 8 a.m. and check on you. I hope you have a healthy birth this evening and hope that goes well. I see you shaking your head yes, and so I want to make sure you hear me as well, so that and this is only in the event in an emergency. If for some reason you withdrew your consent, which let's get you unmuted to make sure that this is real clear.
There you go.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Doyle, does that make sense to you as well?
Yes, that makes perfect sense. Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
I appreciate you spending 2 hours on a Sunday going through my medical history and fighting for my vagina and my baby.
Okay, what a great sense of humor.
Honestly, like
Wow.
beautiful person. I mean, seriously, the way she handled that,
Right.
I don't know that I would have as much grace, but give me your thoughts, Linz.
Well, first of all, I was kind of like Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone. What? What is happening?
This is real.
Like, are you for real? I'm sitting here in labor. First of all, I wanted to say to that judge, dude, you clearly have never been in labor before. Duh. I mean, the amount of pain that woman could have been going through while having this whole thing was incredible.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a shocker. But I cannot believe that they were trying to cover their butts
Yep.
in the event that something happened before the woman is even like given a chance to give birth. It was just whoa. Like I have to take a deep breath and step back because I hadn't seen that clip until just now. So thank you for sharing this, Sunny. But wow, if that's what childbirth is coming to, imagine how moms might feel.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So let me
Wow.
give you a little bit of context here. So
Yeah,
she
please.
is a professional doula, or at least was. At the time of giving birth, I'm not sure she was still doing it. So when she says that she knows how to read the graphs, right?
Yeah.
She called it some trace. I think called it a trace. She knows
Okay.
how to read this stuff. So she could take the same things that the doctors, the nurses were looking at and figure out what her situation really is. She really wanted to try for a vaginal birth. As she said, she's a mom with other kids already. She has to consider those other children in all of this. And according to her, she only had a 2% chance, given her medical background, of needing a C-section. So she really wanted to push for this. And she wasn't unreasonable. She's like, if there's an emergency,
Then
she didn't look
yes.
like she was having an emergency to me. Now, yeah, there could have been something going on that we didn't see. But prior to them wheeling out an iPad with 10 attorney, hospital people, and a judge, I think her health was pretty darn good. She seemed relaxed. I mean, she seemed confused, like what in the world is going on,
Happening. Yeah.
right?
Wow.
So she had no lawyer. She had no one to advocate for her.
No.
She was naked in a
Right.
hospital gown under
With
some sheets with 10 plus strangers staring at her. Like, I don't know about you, Lindsay, but when I look back at the pictures of me giving birth
Oh,
and
geez.
the
Yeah.
hours before, I was not looking my finest.
No, no. And even if it was, it didn't matter. Like, are you kidding me right now?
No.
And there were like, I don't know, I counted maybe 8 or 9 people on that call.
They were
All the
coming and going. Yeah, it was a
And- yeah.
2-hour. That was a 2-hour call. 2 hours.
I'm speechless. I mean, it's like I don't even know what I would not have been as nice as she was. She was actually towards the end there, I thought I was cracking up. Thank you for advocating for my vagina and my baby. That was awesome. Yes, you go, Judge. I don't know. But the point of the whole thing was they brought in all of these people to a call to make sure that she, if you will, was going to be taken care of properly
Yeah.
against her will.
Right.
Like, we think your decision, lady, which is your body, is wrong. And we feel like you should do this instead. What on earth was their justification for any of that? It's like, even if you had cancer, you can still pick what your protocol is going to be. Like, I just went, hello. This might be maybe the first and the last, I hope, experience like that.
And we have to say, this is unusual. This doesn't happen every day. Okay.
Thank God.
But I can answer your question. So this took place in Florida.
Right,
And
Jacksonville.
Florida has something called a fetal personhood policy. So they don't call it
Okay.
motherhood, they call it
Yeah.
personhood
Personhood.
policy,
Mhm.
where the fetus has the same legal rights as a child. So what the hospital is saying is the reason that iPad was brought out is because they are advocating on
For
the
the baby.
side of the child.
Okay.
But so that's the legal situation behind it.
Okay.
But I mean, the mother wants what's best for everyone. I mean, maybe not all mothers do, but this is the tricky part.
Right.
You are putting what I think otherwise would have been a very healthy
woman.
Yes, woman who is just trying to have a baby. She obviously, as a doula, you see this all the time.
Yeah.
This is not her first rodeo.
No.
And so you're putting a mother who was probably in a calm state, as calm as you can be, into a state of panic and stress.
Yep.
And, I didn't show this part, but I don't know if you caught it. The judge says, hey, we're going to check back in with you tomorrow.
Yes.
And if you want to go back after you have your newborn baby and talk about this again. And there is a clip, I didn't play it. They tried to do it the next day. And she pushed the cameras away. She's like, this is too stressful. I can't deal with this. And she was not as nice.
Yeah.
Which I fully understand.
Right.
But Debbie did try to check back in with her, and she was not having it at that point.
And did she have the baby? That's really what
she had the baby via C-section. So I don't know exactly how that unfolded.
Okay.
But like I said, this is now what we should do, Lindsay, is down the road. We should check in with her. We should actually
I'd honestly love to. Let's call her up. I would love to know. And if anybody knows her, send us some information, because I just think this is an interesting precedent that is beginning, and it's probably going to get worse and worse. It is rare now, but I don't think it's going to be that rare. I think we all have to take responsibility for our own health and well-being and that of our kids. That is the truth. We are parents. We are giving birth to new little souls in new little bodies that are coming in. And I think that we have to protect the right for the individual, the sovereignty of the individual, to make the choice. If I'm the vehicle through which the baby's coming, I get to make the choice. I don't care what the hospitals are saying.
Right.
And it's hard though, so ladies out there, this is one of those principles where we're just going to talk about this a little bit. It's about how you maintain your own strength and knowingness about what is right for your kid, in spite of what everybody else may say or try to offer as expert advice. It's like, you do know what is best. And if you stay the course and follow your own intuition, honestly, it's going to make an even better situation all the way around, and I think that's what that lady was doing. And I admire her for staying as calm as she did during her birthing process. And I'm sorry she had to have a C-section for whatever reason that occurred. And I'm glad to hear that they both came through it. And having 9 people you've never met before in your room while you're naked and having I would have died. I think that stress would have been enough.
Yeah. My hope is that this was a learning experience for everyone.
Right.
It's still being talked about a year after the fact, right?
Yeah.
So we know that for Charisse, this was definitely a learning experience. But even for the other people that were part of that call or had anything to do with that coming about.
Yeah.
Because when I was looking at the video, I was like, there were women on that call. And I'm thinking, this could be a situation where you could really get hateful and say bad things about the people that were on the call. But I want to take a 30,000-foot view of this because this is not broken people. This is people working in a broken system.
Without a doubt.
And all of those people, I'm sure, have good intentions throughout their life. They've got their own families. They've got things they're dealing with. Cost of living is going up, all this other stuff. It is a challenge to look at something like your income, right? And say, well, I may be disagreeing with what my employer is telling me to do right now, but I still need to do it, or what. It's a challenge to go against the system.
It is so hard to go against the system.
But I'm hoping that the more attention that gets brought to this, don't play the blame game on the people. Okay. But look at the system, because we do not have a healthcare system. We have a sick care system. Everything is built around people being sick.
Yes.
And that's how the whole thing makes money. Doctors don't get a bonus if you don't need an appointment because you're super healthy.
Correct.
That's not how this works. There's deals, backroom deals. We've seen the different documentaries out there about payoffs for, various medications and pharmaceutical drugs and things like that. So we know that happens. Absolutely. We know that hospitals are there to make money. We
Yeah.
have a messed up system that literally needs to be turned on its head.
And
So
focused
that
on
we
health.
are
Yeah.
rewarding health. So it
Yeah.
is health care and not
Yeah.
sick care.
There's
So
another piece of it too. It's the
yes,
legal system. So for the
yes,
audience who's listening, there's also a sense of self-responsibility that's so important.
yes.
You know, you can't walk into a hospital and expect the doctors to be gods. They're not. That is not
Mhm.
what they do. They do their level best to put back together whatever it is, or to deliver your baby with health and care. But the reason that they did that was to protect themselves
Yes.
from someone who signed a form that said, I will not sue you unless this happens. And then they were afraid that that was going to happen. And they
Yeah.
wanted to cover their bases because there are so many litigious people. And that's on us. That's on this other side. We've learned a program that if you are victimized, you sue. I mean, it's insane. The amount of lawsuits that are brought out. The only people making any money with any of that are attorneys.
Right.
And you have to know the doctors do the best that they can, but they are infallible. They
Yeah.
can't get it right all the time, every time. So
And so many times,
important.
Lindsay, their hands are tied. Like
Yeah.
they are
Oh,
part
totally.
of a system,
Yeah.
even to have access to an operating room. The
Right.
doctors have to agree to follow certain rules if they're going to have access to ththese rooms and these facilities. And a lot of times that is handled at a much higher
Different
level than
level.
where the doctors are,
That's
right?
exactly right.
And so if their patient needs a C-section or needs something else, they have to follow the rules.
Yeah.
And honestly, at the very top, they've got shareholders. I don't even care if the hospital is nonprofit.
Yeah.
Okay. There
Yes.
are people that they respond to, and a lot of this is profit driven. I actually did a little bit of research. So the average C-section
Yeah.
right now is anywhere between $23,000 to $28,000. Of course, they're
Okay.
not going to hand you a bill. They don't
No.
want these numbers out there because people
No.
look at this and they're like, that's ridiculous. The
Yeah.
average vaginal birth, so giving birth,
Yeah.
naturally,
Yeah.
in that way at least, is between $12,000 and $18,000. So
Okay.
look at that. Where's the incentive?
Yeah.
Where's
Yeah.
the financial incentive? It's to go with a C-section,
It is.
you know,
And I
and
think this is
also
the
to avoid complications that they could get sued for.
That's exactly it. It's the complications, and they had some concerns. And I do believe, just so I want to put it out there, that I do believe the people in that system are legitimately doing the best that they can.
I do
They
too.
genuinely are. Let's say 98%. There's always the 2% who are
Yep.
nefarious and unwise. But the rest of them are really trying to do the best that they can within the confines of a system that wants the hospital or the medical group to make the most money, versus maybe, just maybe, going along with what the person knows is best for their care. And I have left doctors in the past, not necessarily giving childbirth. Thank God I had a really good OBGYN for both of my kids. Thank you, Karen. Woohoo! Anyways, shout out. She's retired now. But I think what's really important is that we take responsibility. And so if you're thinking about being a mom right now, the message here is, hey, how do you feel about what the doctor knows versus what you know in your heart and in your soul is best for you and your baby? And if you don't know that yet, then work on that. That's the thing to work on. It's not trying to educate yourself about what's the best breastfeeding pump.
Right.
That's good and interesting information, but the most important information is, what do you know for yourself and for your child? And so
Yep.
this is kind of what the Good Mom podcast is going to be about,
Yep.
is how to help you with that piece of the puzzle. Get to know you, and then your baby will come right along with you. And you
About
are
being
so
brave,
right.
guys. I mean, it starts with us. Don't
It
think
does.
someone else is going to be the catalyst. You
Yeah.
need to be the catalyst. This is how real change happens. And
Correct.
again, I know it's a beast. Like whatever system you're in, whether you're healthcare, I'm in media. That is
Right.
a huge beast to go against. But you know what? I'm doing it. I'm doing
Yeah.
the best that I can, and I'm trying to put my truth out there, because when I see stuff, call it out. You know, don't go along with things you don't agree with. You know, anyone that was on that, you know, Zoom call, whatever it was, like there are changes that could happen. Like learn from those experiences. Not that you got to walk in and quit your job, but you standing up and saying, listen, this wasn't right, guys. How do we change this so this kind of stuff doesn't happen again?
Right.
You be the voice. It's up to you.
Yeah. And that's the key. Sunny, what she said.
Lindsay, let's
so
check in with our chat here. I want to see some of the comments. Okay. So this is my daughter. My daughter says the live show is back on. We're back. We're back. Thank you guys. Thank you for being live. And I think this has to do, I don't know if you guys can see that, but those are little octopus. So when we were talking about Marcellus.
She's a professional.
She's
like her mama.
I love it.
Mama. But we also have Dalamare's group, which is over in Nigeria.
Let's see
Thanks for joining us today. This is great.
There we go. Amazing.
I know.
All right. Let's see. We got another one. Wow. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Keep commenting. We'll keep checking in with you guys. We've got another story that we want to share. And Lindsay, this was a big deal this week, right?
Well, you know, it was kind of fun because I was just sort of browsing around like what's happening for moms right now. And sidebar to this lead up here, I just want to say that Sunny and I are closet musicians, and you're going to hear about this in just a few minutes, you know, after this little segment. But I was clowning around and looking around for stuff, and lo and behold, the last winner of American Idol is a woman named Hannah Harper. And if any of you saw this, I mean, millions of people saw her. She's amazing. Her voice is incredible. And the song that she wrote that got her an audition was so priceless. And I don't know, Sunny, I don't know what you're going to show in the clip. Maybe it's best to just show it rather than tell it, and then talk about what I saw in Hannah Harper and why I think she's definitely one of us. And I hope that someday she'll be part of our Good Mom tribe, because she really is a good mom. Her whole intention behind this song was to show why she became clear about her role as mom. So can you share it?
Absolutely. So what I'm going to show you guys is a clip from her audition.
Yeah.
And she talks about this song that she wrote that really saved her from postpartum depression. So, I mean, I haven't been following American Idol. So, Lindsay, until you told me about this, I was like, what's going on? But she just won the whole thing this last week. She won American Idol. And it all started with this song. And she just like bore her soul to the world about motherhood and how it's impacted her. So let's go ahead and play this.
It's so good. So good.
I'm going to sing an original that I wrote called String Cheese.
You're like my favorite person. You're wearing homemade clothes. You're singing songs called String Cheese.
What's the song about?
My youngest is 1, and shortly after he was born, I had postpartum depression, and so I was sitting on my couch. I said I wasn't going to cry. I was sitting on my couch wallowing. Everybody wants to touch you, and I didn't want to be touched. And my youngest son, like, I was just having a pity party and praying that the Lord would calm my spirit. And my son kept coming up to me. He said, Mom, open this. Mom, open this. Open my cheese. I'm like, dude, leave me alone with the dadgum cheese. And I finally opened his cheese. And when I did, I realized that God had put me in that place, and that where I was in my house was the biggest ministry that I could ever have. And being a mom, so I gathered myself and I got up off the couch and I quit throwing a pity party, and I realized that that was exactly what I wanted. And I kind of kicked the postpartum depression in the butt, and I said, I ain't doing it.
There you go.
So I wrote this song called String Cheese. To those days I wanna cry, run away and hide, but I'd worry about their every need. When I'm overwhelmed and touched out, they come climbing up on the couch saying, Mama, can you open my string cheese? I smile because I know meeting their needs fills my soul. Being their mama is who I'm meant to be.
Now, if you can't start crying at that, I don't know what. Carrie Underwood did. Come on.
Cheese.
String cheese.
That's so motherhood, right? It's just like the littlest things like that. I'm sure I'm going to look at string cheese, even without this song, down the road and be like, I remember when my kids wanted string cheese.
No. And it is those moments that are so precious when we feel least like doing what they need, and
Yes.
yet we know they need it, And I love that part of being a mom. And she captured it so beautifully. And so I hope Hannah Harper, we just wish you the greatest of luck. And I know she's going to be wildly successful. She's a lot like Dolly. And Luke Bryant
Yes.
even commented that. And Dolly is
Yeah.
just one of my favorites. And we need a new Dolly, we'll call it. And I think she is a good mom from the standpoint that she saw her kids as her teachers, and
Yeah.
they helped her get over her postpartum depression. And it was when it was her realization through, God sent her to be there as a mom,
Yeah.
and she better wake up to that because he needs some string cheese.
And
It's just priceless because it's so true.
yes.
You know?
And I
Oh,
love that she just came in there, like she makes her own clothes.
yeah.
She's just the most authentic person I perhaps have ever seen on American Idol, because they try to take people and glitz and glamify them, and she does look
Yeah.
a little different now. They've done some things. What will be interesting,
Yeah.
and if she's
Just to see her in
watching,
a year.
Hannah,
Yeah.
if you're watching, this
Yeah.
is my message to you. First of all, congratulations. You're amazing. Stay who you are. And I know that's so hard to do in the music business because everyone's trying to change your image and they have their own agendas. But we can see you have this beautiful soul and this
beautiful voice.
purpose that you could take so far right now. Lindsay and I have these conversations all the time.
All the time.
We've been doing Goodmom for about a year now, but there is something about the timing right now of
Just
moms of women, and that's not a feminist thing, okay? Because I don't believe that you have to bring men down in order for women to have their chance, right?
No.
It's just this beautiful, motherly, loving sense that is just coming out now. And
It
you're gonna see
1000%
this more
is.
and more.
And she is an example of that, reaching the top of a competition, we'll call it, and simply
Yeah.
singing from her heart and soul.
Yes.
And yes, she was coached. Yes, she learned from a lot of people in the music business how to present herself and how to share, change her voice and do the things that she does. But I will tell you, she is being who she is. And her children were at every single episode, every single filming, and they showed that throughout the entire season. And those kids are going to be able to look back and just go, that was my mama. And that she was there for us. She was doing it because she had a message for other moms. And I think that's the most powerful message you could have. So now is the time. Message for moms. There is a momolution. That's my word for revolution. But the idea here is that if we stay the course and we get even better as moms, our kids are going to survive and thrive in a new world that they're going to create. They're going to know how to do all this. And it's because of us. Moms do this. This is our job.
Yeah,
Clearly.
absolutely. And by the way, that song, that I did check, that is available on Spotify and Apple Music. So if you guys want to support her, please do. Like, we need to support each other. Like, this is part of her dream, and she just did it. She made it happen, and she's representing right now. So encourage people to, check that out and download it. And the other thing I want to say, Lindsay, is if that's not you, some of the things that Hannah was saying, they're so beautiful, but there are women out there that aren't going to feel completely fulfilled just by motherhood. And I just want to say that's fine too. I'm one of those people that I need to have multiple things. I love being a mom. I love my children. I love what motherhood teaches me and how I'm constantly learning, but I love doing these shows. And I need these other things in my life, my friends and, volunteering or whatever it is that I'm doing to make me feel complete. So if you listen to Hannah and you're like, yeah, that's not me, that's okay. Not everyone needs to feel that way, you know? And if that is you, fantastic. And know that you're not just impacting your children, like when you say, oh, this is my calling, think of all the other people that your children come in contact with, and you're part of that too. So it's never just your house. That's kind of how we think about it. Oh, I'm in my house, I'm impacting my kids. Okay, well, so your kids probably, go to the park. All right, so you're probably impacting those parents. They're watching you, you're watching them. So there's other things going on. You're going to church and, you take them to daycare, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So
I started a company from my living room, Sunny. And my children have been in backpacks and bassinets in my entrepreneurial endeavors. In fact, there was a time in their lives when they were late teens because they got busy in high school. They were like, hey, we don't know that guy. He hasn't been to dinner yet. Like, maybe, are you working with him? And they would question whether or not I should be working with someone because they hadn't met him yet, right? That's how involved in my entrepreneurial world that my kids were. So the idea here is that you can be a mom and do what calls to your heart. And also still be there for your kids, no matter what. And the two of us, are definite, proof that this can happen. You will get to interview our kids someday on the show. I'm sure of it. Yes. We're going to do this.
They'll make an appearance, I'm sure, at some point.
They will. They have to. I mean, I think the proof is in the kiddos, right?
That's right.
Oh my gosh.
Lindsay, well, you mentioned earlier that there's a lot of stuff that we like to do, right? We're kind of budding musicians and using technology to bring forth creative ideas into the world. So let's talk a little bit about our theme song that we've been working on.
Baby. Well, oh my gosh. Okay, so a little background, because I don't know that we've actually mentioned this on any of the episodes, but Sunny and I were both singers when we were younger. We loved to sing. She actually did a lot of performances, singing and dancing and plays. I literally sang. I won a whole bunch of competitions in singing when I was really young. And I loved it. I used to love singing in the choir at church. The only reason I ever wanted to go to church with my parents was to sing. So it's kind of funny, but that is the truth. And so I think what we started to realize is that we needed a way to express ourselves on this whole, channel of music. And so I think what we're seeing right now is that we have a song that Lindsay went to the world of AI and said, okay, seriously, I can't play any instruments really. I used to play piano. I want to play guitar, but I'm terrible. So how could I make these songs come alive? And what really came to become easy was I love to write the lyrics. That is my favorite thing to do. Anyway, I love to sing songs and I kind of make them up. Anybody else out there dance around the house and make up songs in your own head? Yeah, see.
Especially the dance part.
Pretty sure all of us do it at some level, but I started writing them down. I was like, well, this is kind of fun. Well, what popped out of that was I went into a program called Suno, SUNO.com. And I'm going to just share it with everybody because seriously, if you're a closet burgeoning artist, this could be a fun way for you to play too. But I wrote this song called the Goodmom Anthem. And really, it was for having an upbeat, lively, inspirational song. When you think about songs about mom, aren't they mostly kind of sad and, oh, I remember you and and like whatever. That's all great. Nothing wrong with that. But I wanted one that was like, we're kind of badass. We are superheroes. We do stuff that other people don't even notice, right? We're kind of in stealth mode. So that's where it all came from. And then I said, Sunny, I need help with this. I am so not an editor. I am so not a person who knows that part of the thing. Help make this even better. And so what we did was we collaborated on this song, and it's going to be our anthem. It's what we're going to use for this show and for any live shows and live events that we do. And it is currently called the Goodmom Anthem. So do you want to share that with our audience now, Sunny? We really want to share it with y'all so you can hear it and tell us what you think.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to play this video because I wanted you guys to see some of the lyrics. Sometimes it's hard to pick out the lyrics, and I'm just a visual person. So let's play it. We'll still be up on the screen, and let's have a little dance party. Feel free to dance in your living room because it is that catchy.
Your voice telling me to wake up, phone is buzzing in the dark. You're mending wings on cardboard, angels, coffee brewing from the start. Lost your keys again, you're laughing, pack your lunch, race to the car. You say go be true, go be magic, just be who flights and late permission, science projects in the sink. You're a one-woman defender, dazzling dreams and what we think. You make castles out of clutter, no more nightmares, no more fright. You're the saint who cleaned up messes. You are where the dark turns light. Good mom, you're a quiet superhero, holding up the sky in your bathrobe, turning every bruise into a badge of gold. When the whole world's shaking, you're the song my heart keeps playing. I get brave each time I hear your voice say, go. When my mind flips sideways, when I want it my way, you just open both arms wide. I'm here. Every shadow shrinks down, every loud thought calms down when you look me in the eyes. Good mom, you're a quiet superhero, holding up the sky in your bathrobe, turning every bruise into a badge of gold. When the whole world's shaking, you're the song my heart keeps playing. I get brave each time I hear your voice say, go. You say, go.
Okay. Woo! All right. Okay, guys. Love you guys. That was fun. That tongue might be too long. I have.
That's my workout for the day.
Yeah, I was going to say that might be longer than most Zumbas. I don't know.
Well, we're
Oh,
going
but
to
it
be
was
playing
so
that a lot for
fun.
you guys, like in the intro and all that kind of stuff. So this is kind of our introduction. It has been birthed into the
now-
world
It is
now.
now here for your pleasure. And you can hear it on Spotify. We are putting it out there. And just a little mental note for our little audience that's listening here today, and then for those who see this in the future. We want you to tell us about your songs. What songs do you want to write, or what would you like to have written about? Because Sunny and I are working on an album. We already
right.
have 3 or 4 songs ready to go. So you'll be hearing them first on the Good Mom live show, because that's how this is going to go for
That's right.
every song release. But we want you to just hear what we're up to, and we want you to be part of it. We're meant to be uplifted. So let's do this. We got some good songs coming. And
We
Oskai's not on today, but I've asked him to write a song for us too. So we'll see how that's going to go. But he's got all kinds of talent, and we have other people that may be collaborating with us. So
I love
stay
it.
tuned for
I
the
love
Good
it.
Mom Music
We
edition.
have some comments too. So Elijah just put this. It's kind of hard to see on the screen, guys. I feel like I
Yeah.
need to like block it so you can see it better. Says this is awesome. And then we have Camelia's here. She says, love the song, love your energy. Yeah, we're just having a blast, guys. I mean, that's really what this whole thing that we're doing, what Good Mom is about, what motherhood should be about. Yeah, you're going to have crap days, but don't focus on that. When you have those moments, we're trying to create things like put on the Good Mom theme song when that happens. Put on other things. My voice is, I don't know. I'm all excited, Lindsay. My voice is all over the place. Like, do those kind of things. Get yourself out of those slumps. Don't just be like, oh, this is one of those days and this is going wrong and that's going wrong and I got to take my kid to this and this went wrong at school or whatever it is. Like, take
Focus
a moment,
on the good.
Take a moment,
Yep.
play a song, your favorite song, the Good Mom song, whatever it is, get yourself back on track. And I hope we create more and more of these things to help you. Because I'll tell you what, I had so much fun going through that song, Lindsay, and, creating some of the lyrics too. And I actually ended up taking a few different versions of songs to create that. Cause I'm like, oh, I like the bridge from this. And I like how, she goes up high on this note, on this thing. So just fun. And then we're, going to create that album from it. And it's just, it's just creative. It's creativity, you guys. We've lost, a lot of us have lost touch with our creativity and our, ability to just create beautiful things. We created our beautiful children. We can create even more.
Lots of things.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not that, I'm just not a creative person. It's just dormant right now. If you feel that way, it's just because it's dormant. It's just because the world has said you got to do this and you have a 9-to-5 job. And then after that, you go here and then, your car, this and this problem and taxes and, your house payment, whatever. But you have a creative flow within you. We just need to reignite it. That's all it is.
The object of this game is to maintain your vibrational frequency at a high level.
Yep.
And all we're saying about this is that, yes, bad things happen. And yes, it's how you deal with them that will make or break the difference between how you feel about it and then how your kids feel about it. You're their model. They're watching you every day. So with that being said, Sunny, we need everybody to write into us, please become a member. Tell us, go to goodmom.org, and she's going to put that up in a minute, but we want you to share your moment. What is it that happened that was so good that needs to be celebrated? We'd love to hear from you. So go to Goodmom, or you can write to us at hello@goodmom.org and send us your story. You can send us a video. You can send us a written note, whatever you want. We'd love to hear. What are you celebrating? What is good about motherhood where you are and what's happening in your world? Because it just helps us add more to the show. So that was fun. I'm so delighted.
Something too, right? We're learning like every day as moms. Maybe there's a little nugget of wisdom you want to share, like an experience that you had. Maybe it's something that you're trying to work through and you don't have an answer for it right now.
Right.
Like we'll talk about it. Like there isn't much that Lindsay and I won't talk about, but we're going to give you our honest feedback about what's going on in as much love and honesty as possible. But that's what we're trying to do here, right? We're trying to have these honest conversations and then, give you, some tools and things like that might be able to help in those moments. And it's not just about Lindsay and I, it's about all of us coming together because there's so much strength behind women, people in general coming together to support one another. And that energy that's behind it is palpable right now. These incredible things are happening on our planet and we're just feeding into that. And it's support and it's love and we're here for you guys, but we want to have these conversations. So like Lindsay said, we love videos. We play three if you count the Good Mom theme song in today's show. So if you don't mind being on camera and you want to share that, it's so easy. Just do it with your phone and then email it to us. You can do it all from your phone. That would be awesome. Or if that's not you and you just want to kind of type something out, again, our email is up on the screen, and then I'll also show our website if you guys want to go there and
just go to goodmom.org. You'll find everything. You'll find all of last season. You'll know how to get in touch with us. And the truth of the matter is, gang, it takes all of us. It's going to take a village to change the way that kids are raised for the coming foreseeable future. And we want them to thrive, not just survive. It's time to break free of the survival mentality. So we are all about it, and we're all about you. And we would love to be here with you next Sunday at 10 o'clock Pacific, 1 o'clock Eastern. And Sunny and I are just delighted to be kind of a center hub of discussion around what's cool about being a mom, because that's what we're here to be. So we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for being here today. And I don't know, Sunny, I think we're done with this episode on Sunday. But let me just tell you, I'm so excited for next week. I already have some ideas.
I know, I have some ideas too.
Yeah. So send us more ideas.
Yes.
For those of you who are out there, send us some ideas.
Yes. And share this. Tell your other mom friends about it. And, we're hoping to grow this community. I'll keep putting your comments up on the screen and we'll be having conversations and just having a good hour-ish on Sundays just to chill with other moms. Like bring your, favorite tumbler with you with whatever goodness you got going in there and just sit down and chat with us for a bit. That's right. Hey, this is Good Mom. It says Good Mom. And Lindsay said we're going to get some stickers made so you guys can put Good Mom stickers on whatever you've got. Whatever you've got.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We love you. Sunny. We love you guys. Thanks for being with us today. And we will see you next Sunday.
Yes,
Bye.
Bye.